Welcome to Basics of Information Technology Part 3 for Class 9. So in this we will cover types of software. A software refers to a program or a group of instructions that are given to the computer which is stored in the main memory to perform a specific job. There are basically two types of softwares: system software and application software. Now first let us see system software. The set of files and programs that help in operating the computer hardware and computer system itself is called system software. These are low-level programs that interact with computer at very basic level, or we can say at machine level. System software includes operating system, drivers for different devices, utility programs, compilers, etc. Now let us see, first is operating system. You are already familiar with Windows. Without Windows, no computer can work. So that Windows is acting as an interface between you and computer. Even mobile, without Android, you cannot use your mobile. So all these are examples of operating systems. So let us see here. An operating system is an interface between a computer user and computer hardware. It is a software which performs all the basic functions like file management, memory management, process management, handling input and output, controlling peripheral devices such as disk drives, printers, etc. Some popular operating systems include Linux, Windows, VMS, OS 400, Android, etc. Now see this diagram. Operating system relies here. So it is controlling system softwares, application softwares, and all these are used by users. So this OS or operating system is working as an intermediate or interface between user and hardware. Hardware means your computer. Now, types of operating system. First is batch operating system. You know what is a batch? A group of instructions. The users of a batch operating system do not interact with the computer directly. Each user prepares his job on an offline device like punch cards and submits it to the computer operator. Now, to speed up processing, jobs with similar needs are batched together and run as a group. The programmers leave their programs with the operator, and operator then sorts the programs with a similar requirements into batches. Now, second type is time sharing operating system. The time sharing is a technique which enables many people located at various terminals to use a particular computer system at the same time. So time sharing or multitasking, it is a logical extension of multiprogramming. Processor's time, which is shared among multiple users simultaneously, is termed as time sharing. Now, advantages of time sharing operating system. It provides advantage of quick response. It avoids duplication of software and reduces CPU idle time. There are some disadvantages also. For example, it is not reliable. Security and integrity of user programs and data are not ensured. Problem of data communication is always there. Now we have distributed operating system. So distributed operating systems use multiple central processors to serve multiple real-time applications and multiple users. Data processing jobs are distributed among the processors accordingly. Now let us see advantages of distributed systems. With resource sharing facility, a user at one site may be able to use the resources available at another. It speeds up the exchange of data. Now, if one site fails, the remaining sites can be used potentially. Better service to the customers, reduction of load on host computer, or we can say server, reduction of delays in a data processing. Now we have network operating system. A network operating system runs on a server and provides the server capability to manage data, users, groups, security, applications, and other networking functions. Its main purpose is to allow sharing of files and printer access among multiple computers in a network. For example, in a local area network, a private network, or to other networks. For example, in our school, we have various computers, and all these computers are networked together with a server. Examples of network operating systems are Microsoft Windows Server 2003, MS Windows Server 2008, Unix, Linux, Mac Operating System X, Novell NetWare, and BSD. Now advantages. Centralized servers are highly stable. Security is server managed. That is, server is responsible for the security of the whole network operating system. Upgrades to new technologies and hardware can be easily integrated into the system. As you know, day by day technologies are changing, so we can upgrade it easily. Remote access to servers is possible from different locations and types of systems. Some disadvantages. A server is normally costly because network operating systems are not cheap, just like simple Windows operating system. They are very expensive. Second disadvantage, dependency on central location for most operations. It means if central computer gets corrupted, the whole network gets corrupted. It needs regular maintenance and updates. Now next is a real-time operating system. A real-time system is defined as the data processing system in which the time interval required to process and respond to inputs is so small that it controls the environment. It means every system gets very quick real-time response. Time taken by the system to respond to an input and display of required updated information is termed as response time. So in this method, response time is very less as compared to online processing. Now, functions of operating system. An operating system provides services to both users and to the programs. It provides programs an environment to execute. It provides users the services to execute the program in a convenient manner. Now there are some common services provided by operating system: program execution, input-output operations, file system manipulation, communication, error detection, resource allocation, and protection. Let us see them one by one. So, program execution. Operating system loads a program into memory, executes the program, handles program's execution. It provides mechanism for internal processings of that program. An operating system also manages communication between user and device drivers. I/O operation means read or write operation with any file or any specific input-output device. For example, I am using mic to record my voice. So in this, operating system is helping me. Then we have file system manipulation. Program needs to read a file or write a file. So the operating system gives permission to the program for operation on file. Permission varies from read only, read write, denied, and so on. Operating system, as you know, provides an interface to the user to create or delete files. Then operating system also helps in communication between different devices or processes. Error handling. Errors can occur anytime and anywhere. An error may occur in CPU, in input-output devices, or in memory hardware. So operating system constantly checks for possible errors and take appropriate action to ensure correct and consistent computing. Then we have resource allocation. In this, operating system takes charge to allocate all kinds of resources to the now next and the last is protection. Operating system also ensures that all access to system resources is controlled. It ensures that external input-output devices are protected from invalid access attempts. It also provides authentication features for each user by means of passwords. Now, next topic is device drivers. You might have noticed you can use any device which can be inserted into your laptop or CPU very easily. How does it happen? Because of operating system. This operating system searches for the drivers of that particular device. If it finds a relevant driver, then your device is easily available to use. A device driver is a particular form of software application that is designed to enable interaction with hardware devices. Without the required device driver, the hardware device fails to work. It usually communicates with the hardware by means of communication subsystem or computer bus, that is internal wiring, to which the hardware is connected. Device drivers are operating system specific and hardware dependent. A device driver acts as a translator between hardware device and the programs or operating systems that use it. A device driver may also be called a software driver. There are various devices like keyboard, printer, scanner, digital camera, external storage devices like pen drives. Each of these need a driver in order to work properly. Now, new topic: application softwares. Application software, or simply applications or apps, are often called productivity programs or end user programs because they enable the user to complete tasks such as creating documents like in MS Word, spreadsheets like MS Excel, databases like MySQL, and publications, doing online research, sending emails, designing graphics, running businesses, and even playing games. So all these comes in category of application software. There are three categories: general purpose, specific purpose, and utility softwares. Let us see them one by one. First is general purpose application software. So there are various general purpose softwares. First is word processing software. It is used to create letters, worksheets, type papers, etc. Examples of application word processors are MS Word, MS Works, Apple Works, etc. Spreadsheet software. It is a tool used to compute number-intensive problems like forecasting, budgeting, creating mark sheets of students, etc. Examples are MS Excel, Quattro Pro, Lotus 123, MS Works. Then we come to desktop publishing software. This tool is used to create illustrative worksheets, banners, newsletters, signs, gift cards, etc. Database softwares. It is used to store data like text information, membership, address, etc., which helps users to sort information accordingly. For example, MS Access, MySQL, etc. Then we have communication software. It allows to connect computers to communicate each other using audio, video, or chat-based medium. Then we have presentation software. It is used to create multimedia stacks or cards or screens or slides. For example, MS PowerPoint, the most common example. Internet browsers. This tool allows a person to surf the internet, reading the mails, also to create web pages. For example, Google Chrome, Netscape Navigator, MS Internet Explorer, etc. Email programs. This software is mainly used to send and receive emails. Now there are mobile apps also. These are also application softwares. For example, Google Search, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, etc. Now next category is specific purpose application software. So such softwares are designed to accomplish a particular or specific task. Let us see some examples. Speech recognition software. It enables voice activated typing on computers. Then screen readers, that enables visually impaired people to access Windows desktop. Subject and language softwares that help practicing language learning skills. Accounting management software packages, reservation system, payroll system. So all these are specific softwares. Now utility softwares. Operating system provides various capabilities, but there are small programs which provide added capabilities and are called utility softwares. They help in smooth working of your computer. Some of utilities are file manager. So it helps in data management tasks like deleting, moving, copying, merging, modifying and restricting access of data stored in files. Then we have text editor like Notepad. It is used to type a simple program or to create simple plain text files. Then backup utilities. It is used to keep a copy of all the data and information on a disk. Antivirus to protect a system from viruses and cyber attacks. Then we have very important one, disk management. This utility enables users to view and manage your hard disk installed on computers and the partitions associated with those disks. So with this we have finished all the topics. So go through all these once again, and tip of the day is do not procrastinate. Now if you don't know the meaning of procrastinate, try to find out the meaning and send it to me or write in comment section. Thanks for watching.